Welcome to Community College Softball on SportsNetUSA.net. We're out at Cerritos College at Nancy Kelly Field as the perennial state champion, Cypress, takes on Cerritos College in a game that should be exciting in the softball world today. Corey Neyland. Cypress is the visiting team, 9 championships, but they're off and running, and they're going to lead it off with Jordan Thompson. Thompson swings through to strike out on her first at bat. Corey Neyland will set the defense.
Wicked pitch by Samantha Eastless, who gets to start in the circle for the Falcons. Her battery mate is Vicky Nahara.
Alyssa Huerta comes up for Cypress. Nice little thing to Bedoya over at third base. Easy little bounce out. So a quick 2 outs here in the top of the first.
And that's Alyssa Huerta. Emily Rush now, who's Eastless's counterpart in the circle today. She's batting third. So at first base for Cerritos, Rochelle Leduc. Alyssa Sotelo at second base. Brooklyn Bedoya at third, who just made the assist, and Miranda Diaz at shortstop.
First pitch is high, swung through for a strike.
Nagasi Williams, sorry about that. Mark Nagasi Williams in left field, Alyssa Capps in center, and Haven Marines in right field for Cerritos.
Next pitch, fouled away.
If Rush gets on, Cameron Adimondo, the shortstop. Batting fifth is Eliza Sandoval. Sixth, Sarah Crespo in right field. Batting seventh is Paige Schaefer at first. The designated player batting eighth is Isabel Zavala. And batting ninth is Cameron Curiel.
Next pitch, down and away in the dirt. Throwaway pitch. Goes all the way to the backstop. Brad Pickler down in the third base box. Well, a little out of the third base box when you look at it. I think he's going to, La Habra, where he's standing right now. High and away for a ball.
As we get older, those reflexes aren't as sharp, Mark. So that third base coaching box is not as tempting as it used to be.
You know, it's funny you say that. Brad and I were talking about that before the game. Things we no longer do. That one just off the plate, Corey. It looked good. 3-2 count. 3-2 to Rush. 2 outs. Top of the first here at Nancy Kelly Field. Beautiful day for softball. Fly ball all the way back. Deep center field to the wall. And it's a off the glove and caught. So if you're doing that at home, Alyssa Capps to Haven Marines, you score that as a 8-9 fly ball put out here in the bottom of the first. So a little, acrobatics to start off this game.
Well, you said it was a big day in community college softball in the state of California. 2 of the perennial top teams, state champions for their programs, and Alyssa Capps, we mentioned that here last week 2 weeks ago for the SportsNetUSA.net Softball Invitational, that Alyssa Capps plays a strong center field, and it's a nice job by Haven Marines not giving up on the play, backing up her center fielder, because if she's lazy and stays rooted in position, that's going to be at least a double.
Yeah, you saw Capps go all the way to the wall, Corey, and then you saw her take her eyes off just for a second and look at the wall at that last second, and that's why she bobbled the ball. If she doesn't look at the wall, she catches it cleanly.
I'm not so sure about that. That ball was hit so far, and it was dropping. And so she had that ball, but outstanding play to start the top of the first inning. As Cerritos will have Alyssa Sotelo, Brooklyn Bedoya, and Vicky Nahara, 1, 2, and 3 in the order. In the circle for Cypress will be Emily Rush, as we mentioned, who just made that last out. Rush, her 4th appearance. She is 2-0 in 8.1 innings pitched with a 4.2 earned run average. Her battery mate is Eliana Mora. First base is Paige Schaefer. Alyssa Huerta at second. Eliza Sandoval at third. Cameron Adimondo at shortstop.
Sotelo up out of Pico Rivera. Takes the first pitch for a strike. She went to El Rancho High School in Pico Rivera. Second baseman. Her major's natural science. Infield in at the corners for Cypress. Corey, Sotelo, watch her when she gets ready to hit. She does this little stutter step at the thing. I know it's a timing mechanism.
In left field is going to be Jordan Thompson, Cameron Curiel in center, and Sarah Crespo in right.
That one just off the plate. 1-2 is the count.
And you see more and more timing mechanisms, more pronounced timing mechanisms as we've seen in the game of softball progressing to more of a long ball situation.
Sotelo would like to transfer to UC Davis when she gets an opportunity. Fouls the next one off. She wants to be a veterinarian. And she speaks, unlike you and I, she speaks 3 different languages. We're lucky if we get English right. Sotelo wagging the bat. Takes that one off the plate. Rush bringing her down. You look at Cypress this season, 5-0. No conference games yet. Sotelo falls it off her ankle. And then when you flip it over, Cerritos 6-2, 1-1 in conference. They lost a tough one to Mount San Antonio 6-4. Sotelo being tough at the plate. Rush. Sotelo lines it into the gap to right center. Turns, heads to second. She's going to walk in with a stand-up double.
So good piece of hitting with 2 strikes on. She goes with the pitch. A Rush on the inside got those 2 strikes. Then applied to play the quadrant zone. She went to the outside. And Sotelo. And after that first game that we saw at the Invitational, Cerritos has really been on a streak mark and showing they're very formidable this season.
Yeah, those first games were just waking up from COVID, and now they're back playing strong as Bedoya comes up. Takes the first one for a strike. Bedoya playing over at third base. Brooklyn played good third base the last time we saw her play here. With the Mayfair High School in Lakewood. Squares the bunt, drops a defensive bunt, and it goes down as an excellent sacrifice.
And that's exactly what it was. A defensive bunt that allowed the ball. I mean, she made it defensive, but she kept the bat there, kept her eyes on the ball as it hit the head of the bat, and then just came right down, effectively advancing the runner.
Rush came out of the circle to make the play on it. So you're going to score that 1-3. Runner in scoring position, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Vicky Nahara comes up, takes the first pitch for a strike.
She's had a strong first half of the first start of the season, batting .304 against Fresno City. She was 1 for 3, had an RBI and walked.
Out of El Rancho High School. Lazy fly ball in foul territory and hits the barrier for out of play. And so she stays alive as Sarah Crespo, Corey, just ran out of room over there down the right field line.
And it might not be that bad of a move that she didn't come up with it, because if she comes up with it, that's an easy tag situation for Sotelo.
0-2 the count. Nahara waits, Rush brings it to her and hits her with the pitch. So runners on the corner here in the bottom of the first. And that brings up Miranda Diaz.
Diaz against Cuesta. Janelle Godano, the coach of Cuesta, also played shortstop at Cerritos. She went 2 for 3 with an RBI, scored a run. They had 10 hits in that game as a team with the shutout, 8-0.
Diaz went to California High School in Whittier. Was coached by Javier Macias when she went there. Playing shortstop. Young woman that'll play a deep shortstop. Takes it, throw to second base, fake. They're looking for the runner to go, so we score that as a stolen base. Now 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out. My favorite play should be coming up, but it won't.
With 1 out, it's not happening.
Rush brings it. Off speed. Nice pitch. Is it going to drop? It does. Fair ball right on the line. That's going to get 1 in.
And a little cue shot into right field, shallow right. Brings in Sotelo for the first run of the ball game, Mark, and Cerritos has come out tough. 1-2-3 inning in their top half of the first, and here they put 1 run across. There's still 1 out on 2 hits.
So Brad Pickler is going to take a little walk to the mound and talk to the young lady in the circle and see what's going on here. So Cerritos very aggressive at the plate. I like the fact that you had that bunt laid, Corey Neyland, but now you look at them, and really they're now into the meat of their order when you look at them this season.
Yeah, it's just basically softball 101. I mean, there's no 2 better coaches out here at softball one-on-one, teaching the game of softball, being an expert in the game of softball. And we look at Cody Murray, Mark, in 20 seasons, all she's done is over 550 wins and a state title back in 2008. State title game in 2007. I mean, SoCal Regional 16 times. What type of leadership, and we know about Brad, but talk about Cody's existence here at Cerritos and what's that done for the program.
Well, I mean, she's done the state championships. She brings a great love for her athletes as student athletes. That's number one with her. She wants to see these young ladies transfer to the next level. And then her experience in softball alone. You see what she has done as a player, as a coach, on the professional level. She has been a champion everywhere she's walked in, and in many cases, her dad was right on her right-hand shoulder.
So runners at first and third. It is Vicky Nahara at third. Miranda Diaz at first after that RBI single. And I think I aged her also because I had her playing with Rhonda Wheatley and Sue Brasney. So she came after, about a year after them. So she wasn't on those same teams.
Rochelle LeDuc out of California High School in Whittier, California. Looks to go into nursing when she gets done with softball. Takes that on the corner. So Rush is taking a little speed off the pitches. Working it in and out, up and down. 1 out, runner at third, 1 run in, first and third, 1 run in. Rush takes her time, rocks, brings it. That's down in the dirt.
And LeDuc has a team leading 9 RBI. She has 1 home run.
Rush looks like she's struggling just a little with her control right now in this game. 3-1 pitch. Take it back up the middle, and Corey, the bats are hot for Cerritos right now. I mean, I know it's warm out here. It's 90, but you look at what they're doing right now. They got the skittle up to about 350. They got some pancakes and chili dogs going for breakfast. They are doing well.
No, they don't. No. They have some pancakes going on the griddle. That's fine. That's how hot they are. Those runs are the syrup. That chili's just going to bog them down.
Maddie Guillen now comes up late. So 2 runs in. Runners at first and second. They're hitting it where they ain't, that's for sure. Off the plate. And you mentioned it more than once, Corey. Excellent pitching from the circle. timely hitting and good defense. We've already seen good defense by Cerritos, and they're getting timely hitting right now. Rush from the circle. This one cued. This is going to drop in center field. It should be station to station on this, and that's what it is. Four hits in this first inning for the home team, Cerritos. Started off with a double. Then they've had 3 consecutive singles, and those singles have produced 2 RBIs.
So tough going for Emily Rush to start the ball game. As we mentioned, a 4.2 K per 7 in 8 innings pitched. She's given up 3 hits coming into this game.
And Degassi Williams comes in, and these have been solid singles. They come up shallow in the outfield, Corey. I mean, look at it. That's, you know, if that ball got hit over our head, we just let it roll to the wall and say, circle a home run, as shallow as Brad's outfield is right now. Williams looks, takes that off the plate. Rush is yet to put back-to-back strikes to any hitter that has walked up against her in the circle. So still struggling with their opportunity to get a strikeout here. 1 out, bases juiced. That one down and away. Different than night and day the first time we saw Cerritos.
Yeah, the first game out, and again, when we were at the Invitational, we haven't really played consecutively and consistently in 2 years. So nerves. They did win the second game against Southwestern.
Rush off the plate again.
And you mentioned that loss against Mount Sac. Mount Sac is a good barometer of where your team is early on. You didn't get beat by Mount Sac, who's had a couple 10-1 games. You got beat by 6-4. But you showed that, hey, we're here this year. And as they do so often under Cody Murray's reign, they walk. They had a stretch of 5 consecutive years leading the state in walks.
So, Rush down early, 3-0 here in the bottom of the first. Bases stay loaded on the walk. There's still only 1 out. And Brad Pickler has chosen to leave his pitcher in at the circle.
And that's one of the things you like about 2 veteran coaches.
So Hamilton is going to pinch hit. That's Ariana Hamilton, pitch hitting for Marines, who's playing right field for Cerritos today.
Yeah, but veteran coaches don't get rattled. Yeah, you say you're down 3-0, and with a Cypress Charger team, 3 runs can be had at any time. But if you're Cerritos, this is the start you wanted to get up early, and we'll go back to the strong start they've had. Because this could be the best team Cerritos and Cody Murray has had in the last 3 to 4 years.
So Hamilton at the plate, takes the first pitch for a ball. Out of Downey High School, Downey, California. Takes that for a strike. She didn't have a senior season at Downey, but when she did play, she batted .379, had 14 RBIs. She was all San Gabriel when she was there. Had the hips moving, held on.
And that's a good pitch. That shows confidence in the circle from Emily Rush. You know you're already down 3-0 and a 1-1 count. You still have the opportunity to throw something off of the plate, but it's close enough that those hips were swiveling just a little bit, but no go.
Pitch. That one fouled away.
And she came back with the exact same pitch in the exact same location. And this time Hamilton couldn't resist.
2-2 count. 1 out. Bases loaded. 3 big runs on the board here in the bottom of the first. The bats are smoking, and no, it's not from a forest fire. Cerritos is hitting the ball well. Off speed, just misses. I tell you what, that was like riding with Corey Neyland, going from the fast lane to the slow lane, and hearing Gabby Neyland saying, "What you doing?" It was that slow. Three-two. Taken. Going to right field. Beautiful bit of hitting Corey Neyland behind the runner at first base, and there was no possible play over at first base for Paige Schaefer.
Again, that brings in LeDuc. So 4-0 as Rasher LeDuc scores from third. Maddie Guillen advances to third. Nagasi Williams to second. And standing at first is Haven Marines. Up 4-0 with the 9th batter coming up to the plate is Alyssa Capps. And
so we have a pinch runner over at first base.
And that is going to be Haven Marines who's running, who Hamilton came in for and got the single.
So Alyssa Capps game. Takes the first one for a strike. Alyssa only 4'11", freshman out of Downey High School. She's here at school just to play softball. Well, not really. She just hasn't decided what her major is yet. Takes that one high and away. Her dad played football at Sonoma State University, and her mother played softball at Oregon State when she was there. Takes that one for a strike.
Talk about a program who, Oregon gets all the press in the state for college softball, but Oregon State has some quality players.
They do. Pops that foul, goes out of play.
So you like the pedigree.
4-0, bottom of the first. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Cerritos. No runs, no hits, no errors for Cypress. Finally, Rush comes through with what she's been searching for, Corey Neyland, that strikeout.
Simply a blow-by.
So let's go back to the top of the order. And Alyssa Sotelo is up, who doubled her first time up. Takes that for a ball. No defensive movement, no movement looking for any pitchers to come in the game for Brad Pickler. Sotelo takes an off-speed pitch by Rush. Waist high, Corey. Best play to put that off-speed pitch.
Yeah, and you don't mind taking that pitch as well, because with 5 hits and 1 walk, you want to wait for your pitch.
Rush says, well, I'm going to slow it down even more. Almost an ephus pitch. Mind you, a little slow pitch softball on that one. Just off the plate. So she's thrown 3 different speeds on the last 3 pitches, and the count's 3-1. Bases loaded still. Three-one pitch. Ball 4. Second walked-in run in this game.
Brings in Guillen, who singled. Williams at third. Marines at second. And Marines is pinch running for, actually she's pinch running for herself as she, in the lineup, bat number 8, Ari Hamilton comes in.
Bedoya back up. Dropped a self-defense sacrifice in this inning when she got up the first time.
And you like to see that out of a person who has power at the plate. 5 runs, 5 hits thus far.
Versatility. Next one taken for a strike. Five huge runs here in the bottom of the first. And strike 3 finally, but Rush. But not after Rush gave up 5 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and 3 left on base. As we head to the top of the second, it's Cerritos 5, Cypress 0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Corey Neyland, you look at that first inning and you would say, okay, that's typical Cypress. They got 5 runs. Brad Pickler's team's done it. Cody's team comes out and went, I don't care if you won 9 state titles. It doesn't matter to us. You're on our field. And they were all solid hits. You can't say, boy, were they lucky. And that's the thing you got to like.
Yeah, and it started with Alyssa Sotelo, who crushed a double, a stand-up double in the right center field, and she's out there, and they're all at bat with confidence. You don't see anyone at bat for Cerritos guessing. You don't see anyone at Cerritos being apprehensive at the plate, and that's really what contributes to the positivity of those first 5 runs.
Coming up for Cypress will be Carmen Adamondo. She's playing shortstop. Eliza Sandoval, who's over at third, and Sarah Crespo, who's the right fielder today. If anybody gets on base, we'll see Paige Schaefer, who's playing first base for Cypress today. And if you're Samantha Islas, well, you got to feel comfortable because they've given you a beautiful 5-run lead as you head here in the top of the second. It was, wasn't it? Brad Pickler coming over and talking to us. He walks out. Gives Cerritos a little compliment and said, what a great start. First pitch for a ball to Adamondo. Playing shortstop for Cypress. Next, takes the next one high from Islas. So don't get content with a 5-run lead here in the game of softball. Islas brings it off the hip. That's 3 in a row that haven't found the strike zone. 3-0 count. 3-0 count. We'll see if Brad has her taking. She does all the way. 3-1's the count. 3-1 count. Cameron looks, takes that, making a pitch to her. So Cameron, 3-2 count. Knuckles that one into right field, and an easy little catch by Marines out in right field.
So 4 straight for Islas. And Eliza Sandoval tries to be the first base runner for the Chargers. Chargers coming into this ball game, 38 runs thus far in their first 5 games and averaging .356 at the plate.
Sandoval gets the first one for a strike. Played at a high school known for being a positive softball team, Pacifica High School. Takes the next one for a strike.
Oh yeah, one of the best in SoCal.
Nursing major who's working her way to transfer to a 4-year school. Takes that one high. Swings through the next one. So right now, if you look at Samantha Islas Corey, she's dealing from the circle. There's no doubt about it.
So with Sarah Crespo coming up, batting 545, the lefty has speed, Mark. So let's see if she tries to get something in play.
She offers, takes it for a strike. And in doing so, Brooklyn Bedoya comes down the line. So we'll see how far she backs up again. She's even with the bag at third. Miranda Diaz in a couple steps at short. Still they're deep on the left side of the infield.
And now,
Interesting. I got to interrupt you. Crespo goes up as a lefty, switches to a righty.
trying to break the rhythm of Islas. Give her something to think about just a little bit. Anything to get that first step against the opposing pitcher.
One, two. Just off the plate. Just off the plate. Coach Pickler encouraging everybody down here at the third base. Doesn't seem stunned by what's happened so far. Little pop fly heading over to us and out of play. Corey Neyland went back, stopped, and realized, you know, I'm a little too old to move that quick anymore. Well, wait a minute. You never move that quick. I'm sorry.
I know I'm so quick it just seems like I don't move.
Cat-like reflexes.
I don't like cats.
That's exactly why you've got him. Ooh. Just missed for a strike. 3-2 count. When you see somebody walk out of the circle like Samantha does and says, well, I'm going to stretch my neck. Nah, no reference to blue behind the plate. Puts the next one right down the middle. So Samantha comes out and gets 2 out of 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. And boy, it's easy. Nobody left on base as we head to the bottom of the second. It's Cerritos 5, Cypress 2 here on Sportsnet USA. .net. Albert Robles, Ed Ford manning the ship. Gabby Neyland here having fun outside, enjoying the weather. Corey Neyland always going along with the ride, keeping an eye on the old guy here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
So Cerritos comes up with Nahara, Diaz, and LeDuc. And Mark, this is a team that comes out. It's very impressive. That's the 37th strikeout to end the inning. The 37th strikeout this year for Islas to end that inning. When she came into this ball game, Mark, it is her 8th appearance. She's 3-1 on the season, has 1 save as well. 3 complete games in 34.2 innings pitched. 32 2/3, Mark. 37 strikeouts and 15 walks.
And her ERA is?
1.62. That'll get it done.
She's in the Mr. Pavlovich range.
She's in every range with 1.62.
No look from Ed Ford, so far we're okay.
Well, no, there's no disagreement on that.
She might be striving for the lowest ERA ever at Cypress. 0.007. Rush still in the circle for Brad. So Brad's like, hey, let's live with what's going on. As Nahara's up at the plate. Got hit by a pitch last time up. And Rush says, I'm trying a new pickoff move. I'm going to the plate. I'm going to throw it backwards in case the runner's straying. One and one's the count. Down and away for a ball. when Hera was over at El Rancho, she was coached by A.J. Reyes and Ralph Del Campo. This one's going to fly ball to right field. I thought there was an opportunity for it to drop, but Crespo was there to put it away.
Bring up Miranda Diaz, who singled, had an RBI single, scored a run in that first inning.
And of course, Diaz is all ready to transfer. And Corey, she's looking to go at 2 quality softball programs at the next level. It'll either be Cal State University Long Beach, who was the Big West champion last year, or Cal State University Fullerton, who has a heritage of great softball. Takes the pitch to the knees for the strike.
Either school will be lucky to have her.
That's fouled out of play. One of her hobbies is playing Call of Duty. Never got into video games. So, I mean, I know there's people that enjoy them. I'd rather play a game like this, where you're out running around, getting dirty. That went in the dirt by Rush. Williams, Caps, Marines in the outfield for Cypress. Diaz, 2-2. Takes that high and away. If you just joined us, bottom of the first, exciting first inning for Cerritos College. Everybody was looking to stay warm, warmer than the temperature. And Cerritos got it 5 runs on 5 hits. That one's going to drop again. So the hit parade continues for Cerritos College.
So Diaz is 2 for 2. And again, it's just a nice piece of hitting. Work the count. Well, count is 2-2. Fouled off a couple. Takes a couple close ones. But again, she's patient enough, and that's the trademark of a Cody Murray team. Be patient enough to get your pitch. And you don't have to chase anything because, again, a walk is as good as a hit.
LeDuc comes up. She had a single her first time up and with an RBI. She fouls it away. Well, I thought Cody was telling us something. She walked down the third base box, moved over here down, but she was looking for shade. Because I thought, you and I need to get ready to duck because here comes a line drive. Rush. Takes time. Backs away. 0-1 pitch. Center field. No play at second. And back-to-back singles. Corey, it started again.
And Mark, it's not just back-to-back singles. It's back-to-back singles in the same exact spot. Line drive up the middle. So they're being patient, waiting for their pitch. And what they're doing is they're driving the ball and not trying to do more than they need.
So Guillen, who had a single with an RBI. This sounds repetitious, doesn't it? It's coming up there. Guillen takes it for a strike. No big defensive plays for Cypress.
Well, really hasn't had a reason to have one yet.
Or an opportunity.
Yeah.
Pitch high and away. 5-0 here in the bottom of the second. Cerritos trying to add a little more to the stuffing.
Guillen's sister Amanda played softball at Fullerton, Mark.
Last year? Do you know?
I do not know if it was last year or not.
Okay. As Fullerton College was the OEC champion last year. Next pitch by Rush. Just off the hit. Oh, nice play over at first base as Paige Schaefer, with her height, stretched to get that little soft line drive.
It pays to be 5'11", Mark, and she needed to be 5'11" to stretch and get that one. So that's a big play. And you were talking about an excellent defensive play that they haven't had yet. That was the first. So let's see if something like this can get things turned around for the Chargers.
So 2 on, 2 out. Pitch for a strike.
In that win against Cuesta. And by the way, Cerritos is riding that 4-game winning streak, Mark. She had 2 hits and 4 at-bats and scored 1 run.
So Agassi looks. Down the right, I tell you, left field line of Corey Neyland. There's back-to-back defensive plays that Cypress made. It's Eliza Sandoval goes down on one knee and picks it up. If she doesn't catch that, 2 more runs score.
Yeah, at least one of those runs scored. But, Mark, excellent play at the hot corner. One of those things that you love the way a third base person plays. If they play it well, it's a thing of beauty. You're not going to see, you might not see other than center field, and I know I'm forgetting the middle infield. But the third base person who Mark loves and the center fielder who Mark really credits as those 2 players that make the most outstanding plays can really ignite your squad.
And we'll see if that happens. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 lift on base. As we head to the top of the 3rd, well, it's Cerritos College here at Nancy Kelly Field, enjoying the home life right now with 5 big runs over 9-time state champion Cypress College here on Sportsnet USA.net. Albert Robles, Ed Ford, Corey and Gabby Neyland, and the old guy out here staying out of the sun's way so I don't have to go see my dermatologist and get, were you out calling a softball game? What's Mark? Where's the hat? Where's the sunblock? Where's the sunscreen? As a matter of fact, Brad thinks I'm talking to him. Brad, where is the sunscreen? Okay. So we know Brad's wearing sunscreen.
And speaking of the first big play, Paige Schaefer leads off, followed by Zavala and Curio.
Hitting off the top of the 3rd for Cypress.
Cher LeDuc back deep at first base for Paige Schaefer. Schaefer, lanky lefty up there. Drops a bunt in front of the plate. This should be an easy one for the first base hit of the game for Cypress College.
And again, LeDuc deep at first base. Bedoya 1 step behind at third base. And a perfectly placed bunt by Schaefer and an easy single.
Smart softball, Corey Neyland. Smart softball.
Rest of that infield is Diaz still at short and Sotelo still at second.
Isabel Zavala up now. Isabel takes that off the plate. Back-to-back lefties for Brad. Brad encouraging his players. Wants the ball put in play. Zavala throws her hand up. This one's going to drop in center field. So back-to-back singles by Cypress College.
And Mark, inside-out piece of hitting. Pitch on the inside part of the plate. As she was striding forward to meet the ball, it kept trailing inside, and she does a nice job of extending her arms just enough to push that into center field for a single.
So we'll see it. Should see a designated runner. Brad went down to the dugout talking to the umpire, so I'm assuming that's what we might see. So if you're Brad Pickler, he's down a ways, so he can't look at me and smile. You drop a bunt now to get runners in scoring position?
With no outs, yeah.
Now
Okay.
running at first base, number 17, Eliana Mora.
So Eliana Mora is now the designated runner over at first base. Cameron Curiel comes up. Like Brad's telling you, if it's on the ground and you're coming in, you better be laying down some hip to get in underneath the tag or slide. On the corner. So infield comes in for Cerritos. Brooklyn Bedoya on top of the plate. And you swing Miranda Diaz over towards third. Bunt through that one. And Corey, if you're going to sacrifice yourself, you and I have said it before, give yourself up.
Yeah, well, she missed the first attempt. That first pitch, which was a strike mark, was supposed to be a bunt attempt.
And Curiel swings at an high fastball for the first out of the inning.
And the little things is what you have to do in a game of softball when there's two quality teams going up against each other. If you miss a sign or you missed an attempt from the coach, you got to lay that bunt down. And as he's having a teaching moment right now in the dugout, you have got to execute. The most important thing about that at bat is move the runners station to station. Nothing else matters.
So 2 on, 1 out, trailing by 5 here in the top of the third. Cypress trying to answer or looking competitive. Brad Pickler having fun over at third base. We're talking to Brad while the game's going on. So if we get a little louder, it's so Brad can hear us.
Yesterday, they beat Pasadena in a doubleheader, 8-1 and 7-2. So Aubrey New and Emily Rush got those wins. They had 8 runs in that first of the doubleheader, 14 hits, Mark, 21 hits in 2 games.
Jordan Thompson playing left field. Another lefty comes up. They're in at the corner. Third base. Brooklyn Bedoya walks in on top of the plate. Deep ball. Can they get back and get it? It's over the head. It's center field and then bobbled Corey Neyland. And that's going to give him a stand-up double and the first run of the game.
And what it does for Jordan Thompson, Mark, she's an outstanding player, standout at Cypress High School. 2-time CIF Player of the Year, second team All-State. She gets the first run across on a stand-up double. And Caps in center field, Mark, lost it at the last moment. She had a bead on it, and at the last moment, she looked up to raise her glove, and she just lost sight of the ball into the sun.
Huerta comes on now. Squares the bunt, takes it there. Brad shows squeeze. Trailing by 4. Runners at second and third. 1 out. Bedoya sneaks in over at third. Leduc comes in. It's down the left field line. Do we tag the runner? Runner tags. Brad says go, 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 go. And no possible play on the ball. And Corey Neyland, it's sort of interesting because you can't block the plate now. So it was one of those that you just have to say, play should have been made but couldn't happen.
Actually, Mark, the ball skidded off. I mean, I think it hit Zavala as she was running. I think it hit her foot and bounced off to the right side because the throw was there. It might have been a bang-bang play, but I think it hit the back of her foot and veered off to the right is why she scored easily.
Oh, there we go. So runner at third. 5-2 game.
And here's where Emily Rush can really help her cause. Mark, she flew out. Deep fly out to right center. Outstanding play by Caps and Marines, who had a little tag team there. You pop it up, I'll take it home.
That in the dirt. So Cerritos feeling good, feeling the rhythm of the game. And Cypress says, wait a second, 9-time state champion? We're not going to go to sleep on you. Down the middle for a strike. 2-1 count.
Marina High School, MVP of her league, an all-stater.
2 singles and a double. That one. Down and away. And Rush said, let me reach for it just a... Okay, forget it. I can't reach that far. Swings through for a strike.
That wasn't an off-speed pitch, Mark. That wasn't an off-speed. That wasn't a changeup. That was...
Rush hits it right at Corey Neyland and I and said, hey, be nice, be nice. I know you two can't move that fast. Albert Robles made no attempt to knock that ball down. He's finally getting into our age range. Rush looking for the pitch to drive. Off the plate. 3-2, 2 out. Runner at third. Trailing by 3. It's 5-2. Here in the top of the third. Sloss brings it home. Same pitch, Corey, that she got her to go after, and that time she doesn't bite. Armando, who flew out to right field now coming up.
Now batting shortstop number 3, Cameron Armando.
So now runners at the corner. 2 out, 2 in for Cypress. Here in the top of the third. Armando just needs an easy single. Takes that one for a strike. Brad walks down, telling him what to look for. Next one tight. Snap throw to first.
And you see the collective groan from the Cerritos side.
Well, I like the way the umpires worked on that one, though, Corey, because the angle was not good. You've got an umpire basically stationed at short, doesn't have a good angle. Asked for help from home. 1-1 count. It's off the plate. Throw. Run going home. Run scores before the last out, and it's it. They count the run.
Yes. And
but
so
the run will score.
Oh, go ahead, Mark.
So 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, no one left on base. As we head to the bottom of the third, it's now Cerritos College 5, Cypress College 3, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. So a nice little play. Brad Pickler says to his runner, take off running. And that's exactly what they did. And you keep yourself in the rundown so you score before that third out is made. The run will count. It's not like you take off from third and I throw you out at first base. The run going home does not count.
And what was interesting, what you heard as the team was going into the dugout, Brad Pickler says, all right, 2 claps, we're back in the game. It's 5-3 now. 5-0 in the first inning. You're thinking, oh, wow. And like you mentioned, 2 teams as historically good as these, 5 runs, it may seem a lot, but with teams who know how to play the game of softball and are well coached, 5 runs is seemingly nothing, especially in today's game.
Yeah, and Corey, the thing that's a little interesting, we know where the sun's at. It shouldn't be bothering anybody. The outfielders on a couple plays now have not gotten good jumps on the ball.
And I think that was the sun issue because Caps was there in center field. She was there. She had to throw up her glove, and she probably would have made that catch. But as you see her looking and up and throwing up the glove, she brings it right back down and cannot focus on that. So she brings her head down real quick and turns.
So Marines, who was pinch hitted for last inning, but then a single got her on base, and she became the designated runner. So Rush, who struggled in the first, is now back in the game at 5-3. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Cypress, 5 runs, 7 hits for Cerritos College. An exciting community college softball game against 2 of the better programs ever here in the state of California.
We'll reset that defensive lineup in just a moment.
Rush brings it down the middle.
Guess we'll do it now. For Cypress, right to left in the outfield, Crespo, Curiel, and Thompson. Left to right on the infield, Sandoval, Adimondo, Huerta, and Schaefer. Emily Rush still in the circle.
Called a strike.
Eliana Mora behind the plate. And another thing that's refreshing about these two coaches is Emily Rush gets in trouble in the first inning, gives up 5 runs.
And that one taken right at the knees, no offer. So a strikeout.
Yet, she's not flustered. She's not worried. She's not pressing because she knows she's going to stay in the ballgame. And the coach has enough confidence in her to realize our team's going to get back into it. You just keep playing your game.
Well, that's the attitude of both these coaches. They understand this game and know that, hey, maybe you get through your struggles and you finally do something. And that's what you've got to like about both these coaches for both these teams. It's going to bring up Alyssa Capps. Number 4, 4'11". Offers.
And that was a 3rd strikeout for Rush. She struck out Capps in the first inning. And she lays one down beautifully. Mark Rush over. Excellent play throwing over to Huerta covering first base. 1-4 if you're scoring at home. Now that is cat-like reflexes from Emily Rush.
There you go. Corey Neyland, I'm looking for my 3rd strikeout here.
Number 24, Alyssa
Brooklyn
Sotelo.
Bedoya to end the inning. She had that sacrifice fly or sacrifice bunt.
So Elisa Sotelo, who had a walk and a double in this game with an RBI. So a prosperous day for Sotelo at the plate. Down the line, knocked down. Take your time at 3rd. Throw in time.
And you know that's a tough play for the umpire out there, Mark. But I'm gonna go with the ump on that one. I think that's as a replay, it's bang bang. As you see it again. Oh, she's safe.
Safe. Wow.
Actually,
You see the replay here on sportsnetusa.net.
you know, Albert had her as out. Mark's got her as safe. I'm going with the ump still.
Stretch. No, safe. Safe. Ball was not there.
It was not there.
Ed Ford and I, the old eyes here on sportsnetusa.net.
Barely she was there, and that's one of the things. And you know what I love?
Excuse me, there's no barely in softball. Either you're out or you're safe. There's no barely.
No, barely because she was out, but the ball was there beforehand.
Which means
She was out because the umpire called her
just
out.
because the ball was there beforehand, if the foot's not on the plate,
I said she was out
I know what
because
you
the
said.
umpire called her out. But she was on base before the ball was there. So I'm going to say she was barely out to give the umpire the benefit of the doubt.
You know, I can't get any love for a chili dog for breakfast, and you give somebody a barely on being safer out at first base. I don't get that.
I'm going to say excellent play all the way around.
Now batting number 3, Cameron Adimondo.
Adimondo comes up. Flew to right field. Her first time up. As we start off the 4th, 5-3.
And you know what I love about a play like that is there's no replay that stalls the game. I would, as a sports fan and in any sport, live with the call. Right, wrong, good or bad, always live with the call. Not yet.
So nice play. Well, I tell you what I like about
So how are
that
you
play.
enjoying the game today, Brad? Yeah.
The weather's perfect. I don't have to wear a mask. It's just great. I get to see you guys. Ed's down there. Got things rolling. Love it.
It's a beautiful day.
Where else would we rather be than here?
Where you could get a good chili dog.
Armando comes up.
Come on, dugout.
So
Line drive, Cam.
different pitcher in the circle. For Cerritos. Next pitch, high and away.
And it looks like it is, yes it is, that new in the circle, Courtney Callison, 5'3" freshman from Santa Fe Springs High School.
So Callison now in the circle for Cody. Swung through on that one. Armando.
Come on, Red. Contact. Contact.
So you give up a few runs. Cody's decided to bring in somebody else. Off speed. Oh, and they flinched behind the plate. The ump flinched, but didn't call anything.
Pitch was so good, got the umpire tongue-tied.
2-2 count. Off the plate, 3-2 is the count.
Callison Mark, 2 wins and 1 loss this season. Earned run average, 4.2.
Next pitch. Nice little floater. Right field, taken out of the air right there by Haven Marines. Easy play. Snuggle underneath it for the first out.
No other changes for the Falcons on the defensive side. Eliza Sandoval struck out in the second inning.
So Sandoval, little open stance at the plate, strides, gets a base hit. So Sandoval goes after the first one, gets a hit.
And Mark, with Sarah Crespo coming up to the plate, there's a lot you can do with simply 1 out.
Run and hit, especially with a lefty. Now she switches to the right side.
I think this is a hitting situation. I mean, she comes in batting .545 this season.
Drops the bunt. And it's thrown away. Brad's going to play station. So a big error.
And that's huge because I thought she was going to swing away, but she lays down a perfect bunt. And what is the old adage you and Ed like to say, make the defense play? Make the defense make that play.
Exactly. And what you had, Courtney Callison gets it easily. And then instead of firing it, Corey, every once in a while when it's too easy, you try to just slowly throw it to somebody so it's perfect. And that's when you throw it away.
And Schaefer, Mark, showed bunt one more time, and that's how she reached base her first time at bat, was that beautiful bunt single. And I'm going to go with Mark on this one. He always say you got a runner at third, lay it down.
Exactly. Especially with 1 out. She fakes it again. And now, the reason you do it too, Corey, is because the person in the circle has made an error with the ball coming back to them. They're going to try and be pristine defensively. Schaefer takes that for a strike.
And as a team, Cerritos came in with a .977 fielding percentage. And that is definitely acceptable to some. Cypress comes in with a .980 fielding percentage.
Pitch. There, up, nice play over short by Diaz.
Oh.
She gets the runner. She's got a gun over at shortstop.
Well, that's why you like her at short. But again, it still scores that run. And as they inch closer to make it 5-4.
That run is unearned.
Because of the error on the throw by Callison, put the runner in scoring position.
But like Brad Pickler would say, I don't care. Give me a taxable dollar or a non-taxable dollar. Hey, give me the dollar. I'll be happy with it. 5 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for Cerritos.
Now batting number 31, Isabella Savalas.
So they haven't put the run up yet here at the top of the 4th. So that'll be 4 runs on 4 hits for Cypress. Zavala up there, big lefty. Singled her last time up. She can tie this game, knotted at 5. Off-speed pitch, swung right through.
You know, I've been racking my brain trying to get something more, a different type of pitch rather than an off-speed pitch, rather than a changeup.
Slow pitch, swung through. Corey Neyland pitch. We'll see if they come back with the Neyland. A little more speed. Over to first. Easy play taken there by LeDuc, but not before Brad gets one more run up.
Cypress in the third,
1 run.
sorry, 4th inning. 1 run on 1
1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left on base. As we head to the bottom of 4, even though the scoreboard says 3, it's Cerritos 5, Cypress 4 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Corey Neyland, Ed Ford, Albert Robles. Sitting here. Whoops. Get that up here because it's that time of day.
It's cooling off just a little bit as people are hot out here. But a beautiful day like for softball, like Brad said. So is it trivia time, Mr. Pavlovich?
I tell you what, Corey Neyland, can you let me know the lowest ERA in a season
At the community college level?
for Cerritos College?
For Cerritos, I cannot tell you the lowest earned run percentage. I think it was, I know Cypress's is 0.4 for Cypress. I think that's Corson in the season, but I don't know for Cerritos.
Tippy Borrego in 1978, where she went 17-0, 0.07 is the lowest. And when you talk about Borrego, she ended up going to University, New Mexico, the Lobos, where I asked you if somebody that we had interviewed on the show before, Dr. Want to make sure I get her last name right, Ed, the coach over at New Mexico now. We had her on the show. Is it Congleton?
Congleton.
Okay, just want to make sure. She was on that New Mexico team when they won just after the AIWA went away and the NCAA came in. 1 up, 1 down.
So Tello to LeDuc.
Now batting the catcher number 23, Vicky Najera.
So Nahara hit by pitch, stole a base, scored a run in the first inning. Flew out to right second time at bat.
Nahara comes up. Five to 4. Swings at one by her eyes, right through it. Yeah, it's a year that the Lobos were a powerhouse.
And in the world of softball at that Division I level, I put their uniforms that they have now for New Mexico in the top 3.
Next pitch, brought home. That went over the head. 2-2's the count. We're here in the bottom of 4. What looked like it could be a excuse me game is now a 1-run game. Fouled away. Talk about excuse me swing. Fouled off.
Rush has done a nice job of battling back to keep her team in the game to make it 5-4. More behind the plate. Schaefer, Huerta, Armando Sandoval, right to left on the infield. Thompson, Curiel, and Crespo, left to right in the outfield.
Next pitch. Fouled away again. Great battle right there. Very little wind right now. Flag. Over in right center. Not getting much movement. Big trees that aren't far here that outline the field itself. Off speed, high and away.
And Nahara Mark is another one of those athletes who come from an athletic family. Her dad in the Occidental Baseball Hall of Fame. Also played volleyball in high school.
3-2. So she works the count, gets on base.
And that brings up the ever-dangerous Miranda Diaz. In a 5-4 game, and the bats have been quiet for Cerritos in the last couple innings, Diaz is the perfect player to come up to try to awaken those bats.
Well, you like Diaz, too. She's a shortstop that plays a little deeper than others. She's already shown us that she's got an excellent arm from shortstop. So she's an offensive weapon, but she's a better defensive star for this team at Cerritos College.
She really does have a chance to be Player of the Year in the South Coast Conference.
So Cerritos trying to answer. Their Mo went away for a while. They're looking for it. Little momentum. There's the Corey Neyland. Slow, sluggish, and taken for a strike.
Always positive, though.
0-2 count. Down here. Bad hop and then movement of the head, Corey Neyland, and you know how I'm going to count that one.
E5.
E5. And it's E5 strictly there on Sandoval for the same reason is when the ball got there, if you could see her, she jerked her head up out of the way, worried about the hop. As soon as you move that head, take your eye off the ball, unless you get a luck me shot, it's going to be an error on an infielder. 2 on, 1 out. Michelle LeDuc coming to the plate. Singled in the first, singled in the second. So she's 2 for 2 today with 1 RBI. Has an opportunity to up her RBI this season. That one's down.
And she's got 1 home run this season. So you know she's got a chance to make it an 8-4 game with 1 swing of the bat. As you can see, the outfield playing a little bit deeper than normal.
Infield, deep but short in second. There it is. Well, I tell you what, throw the nail in and you get a positive result. So the nail in for another strike. Maybe we ought to copyright this here on sports@usa.net. Rush brings it home. Down the line. That should be a fair ball. It is. 1 run in. And they hold it right there on a stand-up double.
So LeDuc is clutch this season thus far in the first 8 games. That's her team-leading 10th RBI. Advancing to third is going to be Diaz, who reached on an error, and it is now 6-4 in favor of the Falcons.
LeDuc 3 for 3 with a couple RBIs today. So Maddie Guillen up, lefty. Takes that pitch for a strike. So big answer. As it looked like Cypress was in the mix. Cerritos puts a halt to that and says, let's increase that lead. They're up 6-4 here in the bottom of the 4th. Just off the plate for a ball.
And what was impressive for that at bat for LeDuc is the other thing is they threw that off-speed pitch for a strike. And she knows they're not going to throw 2 in a row based on the count and based on runners in scoring position. So she's going to come back and she's looking for a fastball. She gets a fastball and turns on it right down the third base line. So an impressive piece of hitting.
And this is one of the things, if you're a third baseman, not only do you have to make the play, but even if you don't make the play, you need to knock the ball down.
And you mentioned the earned run average trivia question in '78. That's the year they did win that title in state, the first state title for the CCCAA. And that was under Nancy Kelly, who herself had over 500 wins in her career.
2-1 count. 1 out, 1 run in. 2-2. 6-4. This has been a fun softball game. Timely hits by both these teams. Good defense. Some really good defensive plays. And you can't blame anybody in the circle. These have just been, hey, where I hit it, no one's there. Swung and a miss. So Guillen strikes out.
So strikeout number 4.
Fielder number 27, Nagasi Williams.
So Nagasi Williams comes up, another lefty with speed, with quickness. They're going to walk in at the corners for Cypress, sneak in at second and short, be quietly close in the outfield. It's taken off the plate.
You look at the Cerritos team, Mark, in 2019, they were 22-21. 2020, that shortened season, they were 7-9. They were 3-6-1 in the South Coast Conference play. And so I thought you were going to talk about Brad Pickler and taking the glove out to the mound every time he does go out for a pitching and then team timeout. But again, 2020, 7-9, 7-9-1 last year. The South Coast Conference suspended the season due to COVID. And so this year, and again, we talked about their first, full game at the SportsNetUSA.net Invitational, and they looked a little off. But now these last 7 games that they played look like a totally different team.
Well, you got Brad out there too, Corey. I think this is the whole thing where Brad comes out and says, hey, look, we've crawled our way back into the game. We can't give up the runs that we just ascertained. Mm-hmm. And so he's looking at his team to just buckle up just a little and basically says, give him nothing to hit. I like Brad takes the glove out. Just makes him feel comfortable as he walks out there. When Brad was talking about a great day, I mean, what a better job. Older guy in a pair of baggy blue shorts and a white T-shirt. If I were to do that, everybody'd yell at me and tell me to go get a job. Brad's got a job, and he gets to dress like us on the weekend.
Hey, if you dress like that, just be happy that they're talking to you.
Williams takes that one high.
I want to dress like that because that's what I aspire to be.
Old?
Wearing baggy clothes.
You're getting close to your first achievement. Next one, down, ball gets away, nobody advances. Runner on second and third. They're not going to take a chance, try to score. 2 outs, 3-0 count.
Especially with the 3-0 count. Runners at second and third, just load up the bases. You've already had two runs walked in today.
They creep in still at the corners. Take the pitch for a strike, 3-1. Runners at second and third. 2 outs. 1 run in.
Now, Mark, here's where you do the ultimate Pavlovich. Lay it down now with the speedy left-hander up.
I tell you what, drag that baby. Strike 2.
Because you know you're getting a pitch right down the middle of the plate, so you try to handle that as best you can and drag that and use your speed.
And if you place it between first and the pitcher, a foot race with this young lady at the plate, so then what do? Hit it to left field with everybody in. And Jordan Thompson just gathers in that. Big out, but not before a bigger run comes in for Cerritos College. So 1 run, 1 hit, 1 left on base as we head to the top of the 5th. It's Cerritos College 6, Cypress College 4 on Sportsnet, USA.net. A little Cypress College basketball right around the corner here on Sportsnet, USA.net. East Los Angeles College basketball on Sportsnet, USA.net. Cypress softball not far away, and then more Cerritos College softball, all here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Albert Robles, Ed Ford, Corey and Gabby Neyland, and the old guy. Well, not as old as the guy sitting next to me. They're naming, you know what? You know you're old when they're getting pitches. You're getting pitches named after you. You're becoming iconic.
No.
You're not iconic?
I'm already iconic. I'm innovative. Innovative is not old.
Just because you're relearning how to breathe, that's okay. I mean, I know you find that innovative.
It's new again, so there you go.
Leading off the 5th inning for the Chargers.
So we'll see what happens here as Brad's got his team going. Coach Pickler and Cypress College decided to make this an exciting softball game. First pitch for a strike.
Curiel out of California High School. Teammate of Miranda Diaz.
Slaps it right through the middle.
So slaps it past Callison, slaps it past her former high school teammate in Diaz, and the speed is on first base for Cypress. So you got to know base running and stealing base attempts is coming up.
Well, you look at Thomas out here, lefty, takes that one away, can drop the bunt, can play run and hit, drop the bunt, tell the runner turn when you hit second base.
Yeah, in this situation, she's going to drop that bunt most likely, but you say run and hit. I definitely say run and hit, but hit away. As Thompson had a double, an RBI double her last time at bat. I think she's the type of player who's clutch when you need it, and I think she's the type of player who, if she does hit away, she'll at least hit away to advance the runner.
Fakes that. 2-1's the count. Batter's pitch. And Corey, this is where you don't know if she's going to bunt, but Doyle walks in. They walk in at first. Now you start the runner. Infield in motion. 3-1. So now if you're Brad Pickler, you're going to say, okay, you can swing away, but it has to be in the ideal spot if you're going to hit it. Again, you see the outfielders, especially in center, dealing with the sun. And so they walk and threw it to the backstop, and we advance the runners.
And I think it hit her elbow. Hit by pitch.
Oh, it did?
Grazed her
Okay.
elbow. So she's on for the second time in as many at-bats. So runners at first and second and brings up the
Now batting second baseman number
Elisa
4,
Huerta.
I thought Albert was trying to say we had that old man skin on our arm or something, you know. That one goes all the way to the backstop. Runners advance. Wild pitch.
So 6-4 is your score. We're here in the top of the 5th inning. Cody wants to talk to her team, and let's see if a pitching change is coming.
6-4. 4 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Cypress. 6 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for Cerritos here on Sportsnet USA.net.
So you got me interested with that ERA talk. In the CCCAA, minimum 100 innings pitched in a season 0.28 leads the way. That was Katie Cotta in 2006 for West Valley. And what's interesting about Katie Cotta, Mark, in 2011, she was 23rd with 0.99 earned run average. For Cypress, Alyssa Gutierrez, second in the 2007 season. She had 0.33. This is in a season, all-time CCCAA earned run average.
Yeah, Tina Byers has the best ERA for Cypress. That was in 1983, 0.15.
And Laura Corson has it for a career.
So Alyssa Huerta comes up. Granted at the third. Sacrificed with a ribby with a fly to outfield. Second and third. No outs. Huerta takes that for a strike. Toon wins the count. Yeah. Brad yelling, hey, takes one. Just get us a line drive. That'll score at least 2. Huerta comes back in. Infield in. They're going to cut the run off of the plate if it's on the ground. It's down and away. So Diaz inside at short. Bedoya walking up 5 feet away. Sotelo even with Diaz, and then over at first, LeDuc. That's the infield, and they're close. Ball 4. Bases are loaded.
For a person who averages or has a 583 earned average this season,
Now,
she takes that for ball number 4.
well, the infield umpire didn't have that count, so he stopped it. The home plate umpire said he did.
We had 4.
Yeah, I had 4. I had 4.
Okay, so they're going to keep it with that was a third ball. Yeah, we had 4 as well.
Well, we're not math majors, so, you know, it's hard for us to count 1 to 4. See, there's another one. You know, no math majors amongst any of us, so. Yeah, but you're still a student athlete. We're just all. Yeah, so did we. Yeah. There we go. I like this. We just got endorsed as being right.
Don't happen often.
I was going to say, especially in Cypress. I'll take it. Up the middle. Going home. Diaz double clutch. And when she did, the runner scored and the hitter goes all the way to second base. Fielder's choice. Advancement on the throw. And you give an RBI.
So that's RBI number 8.
Yeah, we had it 4 balls. Yeah. And so now the infield umpire is saying, I forgot a ball.
Yeah.
Admits the mistake. And Cody's going to make a change now again, Corey, in the circle.
And they're going to bring back Samantha. So 6-5 is your score. And it worked out better for the Chargers anyway. Because ball 4, you got a runner at first base. Bases are loaded. With this play, you get an RBI fielder's choice. And still you have runners at third, which is Jordan Thompson, and second, which is Alyssa Huerta, which brings up Emily Rush. As a hitter, she's due. As a pitcher, she's kept the Chargers in the ball game. And Eastless with that rest. And this is what I love about softball. As a player and a position, you're never out of the game. If you're a pitcher in the circle, you can come back in. And if you've had an awful game, you can come back and redeem yourself. If you've had a good game, you can come out and say, okay, another player wants to come in, do this inning, save my arm. Then you come back and you finish it off. That's the positiveness of softball.
Yeah, and the thing that's wonderful about softball too, Corey, of course, everybody knows I don't like the run rule. This just shows you no matter how far you get down in a game, you still have an opportunity.
This does not show you how far. They were only down 5 runs.
Yeah.
So if they were down 15 runs, game would be over. We'd be gone.
Run rule's 8. 5. Yeah, if you add 3, I know everybody has troubles with math out here today.
If you add 3, that's 8, but it was 5. And I know how you feel about the run rule. You don't like it.
I feel anybody can come back at any time.
That's why we like you, Mark. You're positive.
Down the line, foul. Brad would add his glove up thin, throw his hand on. We'd have been going over the fence to, reattach the elbow. That was hit that hard. Runners at second and third, trailing by 1. Here comes Cypress. No outs. Rush takes out. High and away. So Samantha Islas is back in the game. Rush. Fouls it away. Big swing. Deep in left, deep in center. Swung far to the left, Corey. I look at them playing in the right alley in right field.
And that's where she hit it in the first inning on that excellent play to end.
Off the end of the bat.
And you like what Brad just said about being at the plate nice and quiet. I want you to explain that, if we have time now, or in between innings, on why you should be quiet at the plate if you're a hitter.
You know, too many people put too many motions into the thing, and they don't relax. They add things to it as a hitter. Next pitch to Rush. Deep fly ball in the alley. Goodbye!
So a 3-run home run by Emily Rush. Her second home run of the season. And do we have a replay on that? Oh, okay, it was gone. No doubt about it. I mean, she wasn't fooled by the pitch, and she was waiting for it.
Armando now comes up. Fouls it off. Taken out of the air over at second base. Nice play by Sotelo, fighting the glare from the sun. So 1 away. So Cypress up 8-6 right now. Here in the 5th. Sandoval comes up. Last time up, had a single. Next pitch, fouled away. So you said Emily Rush was due as a hitter. Brad told her just to relax. That went inside, off the plate. I like Brad says to us, home run's a rally killer. Brooklyn Bedoya starts laughing. The third base person for Cerritos, listening into our conversations. That one in the dirt. And Corey, you can see where something like that with a home run, how it disheartens the person in the circle. You look at Samantha Islas, who just, the body language was so much different when she was pitching well. She gives up that big home run, and all of a sudden, there's just a different feel about her right now in the circle.
Yeah, and here's where she needs to battle back because she's the type of pitcher
down, base hit,
who has the ability, Mark, to battle back. But again, the body language that you just mentioned showed on that pitch. There wasn't that follow-through that she had in the first couple innings. So it's 8-6, 7 hits for Cypress. 4 runs this inning on 3 of those hits.
Everybody keep the infield moving. Brad trying to get Crespo to get that single. He wants one more run. Crespo squares. Balls it down and away. Everybody came back for Brad Pickler this year.
And I really want to talk about that in between innings and how important that is.
Crespo squares, takes it for a strike. 1 out. Well, if you love action, you've got to love this game. 5 runs in the first inning for Cerritos. Cypress comes back in the 3rd inning. They both score 1 in the 4th. Next pitch, high and away. And then Brad, here in the top of the 5th, comes up with 4. Samantha takes a heavy sigh in the circle. Sun getting difficult in center field. Fly ball over in the corner. It's out of play. And you can hear Brad yelling, watch the ball, watch the ball. Depending on where it goes, Corey, you're going to tag that runner and head for second. Looking to make that move. Here's the pitch. Down and away for a walk.
And the umpires have been consistent with that call. They're making both pitchers in the circle earn it. And that's the second walk given up by a Cerritos pitcher today. 1 hit batter.
So Schaefer comes up, singled, grounded out.
All-American in 2021.
Brad.
Hold on.
Try to drop it. Foul ball.
All-American 2021 mark is Paige Schaefer, kinesiology major.
Well, we had a lot going on this inning. Albert trying to get rid of a ball. Me yelling for Brad. You yelling, hold on.
We didn't want to be responsible for that line drive to the third base coach.
Right there, right down the middle, strike 3. Schaefer takes it looking.
Strikeout number 4. And that's number 4 for Islas.
So Savala comes up. Had a single. Takes that down her way.
Also scored a run in that third inning. So 8-6 your score. Cypress has come all the way back after being down 5-0.
Savala looking to turn in the ball. Everybody back in their positions for the defense for Cerritos. Runner at first and second. 2 down, just knock the ball down, throw out the runner. Don't need to do anything fancy. Nice, easy play. Take your time. If it's at you at third, you just run up to your own base. Diaz probably would have more difficult of plays at short. That at the knees, but off the plate. Boy, that was a good-looking pitch.
Mark, she's 6 feet, local product out of Brea. I'm looking at the Cypress softball roster. They've got more height than the Cypress basketball roster.
3-1. Diaz battling the sun and gets it there, but not before Cypress gets 4 more on the board, and Corey, it's the big home run by Rush that gives them the lead deep the left center field. It's Cypress 8, Cerritos 6, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. And I like the fact that you brought up what Brad Pickler was saying to Rush before she hit that home run. Be quiet, get rid of everything, lose the junk. That's exactly what she did, Corey, and it was a calm swing at the plate where she turned and made the swing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. She was due, but you said don't rush the plate. Be calm, be quiet.
Get rid of everything.
Yeah, and quiet the bat. Sometimes you get up there and you want to shake the bat a little bit. You want to shake a little bit. And yeah.
Double hitch.
Exactly. So you're up there, you calm everything down and just focus. Actually, basically like you're sitting down at the plate. You're not actually sitting in a chair, but you have a slight bend in your knees, and when you're quiet, you actually feel like you're sitting.
Yeah, exactly.
And when she exploded, it's like she jumped up off of that sit and hit that home run. I mean, that was a no doubt about her.
And the thing is nice, she went down and got the ball.
Mm-hmm. Because she had been fooled a couple times on that same exact pitch.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But now we're in that nail biter over there. Gabby Neyland trying to give Corey Neyland a little energy. Gabby saying, here, feel my youth, Corey, feel my youth. Corey's stealing the youth from everyone.
No, I just think we need a bucket of ice.
Now you know what to bring to the next game. As Cerritos now says it's our turn to get back in this game.
And how funny is it after a big inning, the defense comes back and the pitcher comes back striding through on that pitch more confident than she had been since before the game started?
Yeah, exactly. Next pitch to Marine.
That defense, it's still Emily Rush in the circle trying to complete it. Sandoval, Adamando, Huerta, and Schaefer in the infield. Morris still behind the plate.
Haven fouls that one off.
And Thompson, Curiel, and Crespo still in the outfield.
I like Haven when they asked her where she'd like to go to school at, Corey. I love her answer. Any school that offers me a scholarship, I'll go. Off. Nice pickup, even though the ball was foul. You like that by Sandoval. Played the ball, didn't let the ball play her, and picked it up there.
Talk about having the right attitude.
Haven did attend school at Eastern Arizona University, but didn't play any softball there. takes that one high and away. Both her parents play softball leagues. So David and Sandra both play in softball leagues. That one's a ball. And sort of like Corey Neyland, her favorite movie is Spider-Man.
So she's got good taste as well in movies.
David looks, pitch, works a walk. So she gets on base.
Now batting center fielder number 4, Alyssa Katz.
And when you look at Alyssa again, we've talked about her, outfielder from Downey High School. That's where she came from. Her dad played at Sonoma State. Nicknamed Caps, so that's what everybody calls her, just Caps. And she's the daughter of Kevin and Teresa. Her favorite book, The Hunger Games. Takes that for a strike. And I agree with her. She likes her favorite meal, a little Korean barbecue. Sounds pretty good right about now. Ought to have Ed Ford order it for us so we can sit here and have a little Korean barbecue during the game. Shot. Picked up there. Play over at second. Not in time at first. So a nice play by Sandoval, who puts the glove down, catches it in the web, staggers a little, Corey, but takes the short route. Not going to get the speed runner. They really couldn't make the turn at second. So they'll take the advancement of the runner, throw her out at second, and have one out with a runner at first. A little exchange student going on there.
Number 24, Alyssa Sotelo.
Sotelo back up the plate. Sotelo gets a little fooled on that one. Starts her swing, stops her swing. Lines that in left field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Hold the runner at second. So a nice hit by Sotelo here in the fifth. 2 on.
And this is the way they started the first inning, with confidence. Base on balls. They had a fielder's choice, a single. Only down 2 runs, bottom of the 5th inning.
That brings Bedoya.
And you're working on a pitcher who had a slow first inning, giving up those 5 runs. Has been steady since. But again, you're getting back to doing what you do best.
Bedoya takes the first pitch for a strike. Went to Mayfair High School, and she was actually coached by a former Cerritos softball player, Aaron Brown. Fouls that one away. She'd like to possibly go to University of Washington or Sonoma State if she gets an opportunity. Bedoya takes the pitch, off speed, little pop fly, foul ball, just taken there by Sandoval, easily just at the bag at third.
So with 2 outs, it's going to bring up Nahira.
Now batting the catcher, number 23, Vicky Nahira.
So 304. I keep wanting to say Nahira because I'm thinking a basketball player, but Nahira.
Nahira looks, takes that down. Needs a big single right about here. Diaz in the hole. So Nehera got hit by a pitch in the first, flied out to right in the second, walked in the fourth, takes that for a strike. Runner still at first and second, but now there's 2 outs. Trying to answer Cypress some way. Good turnout for this game today. Fly in the sun, off the sunglasses, and just hauled in by Cameron Carell. So they left a couple on base, couldn't get anybody home. As we head to the bottom of the top of the 6th, it's 8-6. Cypress over Cerritos here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Want to remind you other games that are coming up. East LA College basketball on Sportsnet, USA.net. Dan Gardino calling the action on that. A little Cypress College basketball on Sportsnet, USA.net, men and women. Gardino, a little Cypress College basketball on Sportsnet, USA.net, men and women. Corey Neyland, myself, Albert Robles, Ed Ford were out for those games. And then more Cerritos softball and more Cypress softball, all on Sportsnet, USA.net. Gabby Neyland, Corey Neyland, Albert Robles, Ed Ford, and the old guy having a great day today on a beautiful Saturday afternoon here at Nancy Kelly Field. The weather is great. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. The wind's pretty good. Corey Neyland says, well, we might reconsider that not too hot statement. Brad Pickler looks comfortable.
He's on a softball field, Mark.
Well, look at Brad. I mean, he's out in the sun. He's getting a little color. He's relaxing. His team's in front.
66 years old and just having a good time.
You know, and he is younger than me. I think Brad said he doesn't mind. He told me 66 years old and having a ball, Corey Neyland.
So in the top of the 6th, Zavala, Curiel. Actually, this is Curiel. Thompson and Huerta. So Curiel, Thompson, and Huerta.
So Curiel, little lefty, little slap hitter. In at the corner. Boy, but Doy is in on top of her. And if she drops that bunt, Corey, they should call her out because when she squares, her front foot is out of the box. Little slap over to second. Quick flip right there. So Sotelo has no problem with that one for an easy out. And that brings up Thompson. Jordan Thompson out of Cypress High School. Was a three-year letterman and an all-CIF player. She also earned first team all-conference, second team all-county, and second team all-state when she was there. Batted .476 and stole 19 bases in 2019 when she was playing softball. Jordan is a communication science and disorder major. And on that one, she gets out quickly, which for Brad Pickler is a disorder.
Now batting second baseman number 14, Alyssa Huerta.
So Huerta comes up. Grounded out to short, sacrifice, got an RBI in that. And they get an RBI in the fifth. So run producer today for Brad Pickler's Chargers. Them in their blue uniforms with white piping and white lettering. Cerritos in their white uniforms with blue sleeves and blue stockings. Just off the plate. 8-6. Top the sixth. Only the second inning had no runs scored. Fly ball, deep left field, back to the wall, nicely taken out of the air by Williams, who floated back. Corey Neyland never looked for the fence and had it under control the entire time.
You know how cool that play was, Mark? Everybody thought that had something on it. Everybody thought that there would be over her head. And she played that so smoothly, and she's like, okay, you think that. And all of a sudden, oh, wait, she had that all the way.
So Cypress is turned away here in the sixth inning. And now Cody's got her teams out there with Coach Musselman trying to get a little inspiration going. Looking for a couple runs in this inning. Trying to get back in that place where they're back in the game. And maybe wanting to take this into extra innings here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Gabby Neyland in the mountains, snowing right now. Can feel the cold breeze on her shoulder. Shushing down the hill. So everybody heads back to the dugout. Who's not going to be on the field for Cypress? Head to the bottom of the sixth. 2-run game.
Leading off the bottom of the sixth,
Diaz is going to start things off.
the shortstop number 14, Miranda Diaz.
So Diaz will start things off here in the sixth. Miranda had an RBI in the first with a single, had a single in the second. Got on base in the fourth on an error. No action in either bullpen. Well, yep, got a little action going on in Cypress's bullpen.
That's Isabella Zavala in the bullpen for the Falcons, or excuse me, for the Chargers.
So Brad Pickler hoping that Rush can make it to the end, but he's got backups waiting just in case. Diaz takes that low. Should be 3-1 the count, unless I'm a little late on that. Diaz trying to time this pitch by Rush. Curls, drives, deep to the hole. Taken there by Armando over to first for the first out of the inning.
Armando has a deceptively strong arm at short, Mark.
Now batting first baseman number 5, Rocher Leduc.
So Leduc comes up. He's had a good day, Corey. She has singled twice and doubled in this game. Off speed. Rush said, that's right, my new pitch, the Neyland. If you think it's slow, it's a lot slower than that. She comes back with it again, Corey. Back to back. And Paige Schaefer takes care of it. That's the first time she's doubled up on that pitch.
And you know, I think she learned from her at-bat.
Now batting designated player number 12, Maddie Guillen.
So Guillen comes up, singled in the first, lined out to first, struck out. And if it's working, don't walk away from it. Little smile by Rush in the circle. She throws that pitch 3 times in a row. Gets a big grin on her face. Comes with a fastball.
She went 2 2/3 in one of those wins against Pasadena. She got credited for the win in that game.
Next pitch for a strike. Back-to-back fastball. So, off speed, off speed, off speed. Fastball, fastball.
Yeah, what it does is just change the hitter's mindset. I mean, you're used to that off-speed pitch, and you're trying to get some type of rhythm.
Ooh, just off the plate. Rush said, "This is mine. I'm going to go sit down. It's warm out here." Blue says, "No, maybe one more. One more." 2-2, 2 outs. Fouled away. So Cypress clinging on to a 2-run lead. Holding on tightly. Russ says, make that defensive play if it's hit to you. 2-2 pitch. Slow one. Down. Gets to the hole. Touched. And boy, I'm going to ask you to score that because I got to call that an error at third base. But I'm going to let you call the score on that one.
I'm going to give her a hit because I'm a nice guy.
Okay. Albert Robles says, excuse me, Corey Neyland, what are you watching?
Fielder number 27, Agassi Williams.
Only because I'm nice. Official scorekeeper gave her a hit as well. We're both nice people.
Williams comes up.
And you know what's funny? I was going to agree with you this time.
And it really did. It was, the way it was hit, it handcuffed her, but
Well,
it
not
was
that
slow enough for her to actually make the play.
And if you see it, if you saw it again, it not just handcuffed her, but it dropped. It didn't come up how she wanted to come up. It came, and usually on that type of hit, it'll take 1 bounce, 2 bounce, and get that 3rd bounce and come back right up into your glove so you don't have to dive. This one took 1 bounce, 2 bounce, and just didn't get that 3rd bounce and just scooted under her glove, and that's why I'll give her a hit.
And when a third baseman comes over like that and gets in a shortstop's way, tell you what, you better make that play.
Well,
that's all I can say.
Well, the thing is, if it got to the shortstop, if it got to Adimondo, it was going to be a hit anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's another reason why you give her that hit.
So Brad goes out and visits again. Seeing if everybody's coming back from the bullpen. Everybody's ready. Looks like they're ready to go. Cody looking for maybe that miracle blast that would tie up this game right about now. Patricia Soto into the game. Now for Cerritos.
Milliken High School on the season, 200. So few attempts at the plate.
Now pinch hitting for
So
Cerritos,
Soto
number 16,
comes
Patricia
in.
Soto.
Her sister Itzel was an all-conference performer. All-state when she played at Cerritos.
Takes the first pitch for a ball. Coming in, just trying to keep it in play. They're outfield deep for Cypress. They'll let something drop in front of them. But they don't want anything going over their head. Gets tied up on that pitch. So Thompson, Carell, Crespo, deep. Few steps away from the warning track. 2-1. Hits her. So now.
So what happens is they call it as a strike because they're saying she leaned back into the ball to make that hit by a pitch intentional.
So she comes back up. Cody asking for an explanation. No argument. Goes back, gets it, walks away. Fouled off. 3-2 count. Runner at first. If you drop it in the alley, a run's going to score. Cody says, be running, be running, be running. Three-two pitch. Foul ball. Three-two, 2 outs, down by 2. Bottom of the 6th. The door is starting to close if you're Cerritos College. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. So 2 on. Marines comes up.
And they're going to bring in Williams to run. So what they do is they pinch hit for Williams. And when Soto gets on, Williams comes on and she runs again for herself.
First pitch for a strike. So Marines comes up, walked last time up. Runners on first and second. Speed on first. Strike 2 right down the middle.
Emily Rush saying she ain't playing.
Strike 3. 3 down the valley, and you walk away with your eyes closed. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base as we head for the top of the 7th. It's Cypress 8, Cerritos 6 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Well, softball season is in a swing of things. Everybody's off and running and playing here in softball season time. So all the teams that are out there, Corey Neyland, it should be a fun softball season when you look at what's going on. I mean, there's a lot of talent on all these teams.
It's going to be fun because, like Cypress, many returners that are, it's going to be interesting how many sophomores are going to be on teams because they'll all be listed as freshmen. But Cypress brings everybody back. They want to win a state championship. And I think more teams have that exact same feeling. Mount Sac is always going to be there. Cypress is always going to be there. But it's the teams like Cerritos, like the Fullertons, who can they take the next step? Can they say, we got 3 players that wanted to play 1 more year? Can they take the mantle and be leaders? So it's teams like that, teams like Bakersfield, can they finally, get out of their conference and win big games? And so up north, that conversation always is, will they ever get over the hump at some teams?
So Rush comes to the place for Cypress. Trying to add and help herself. Takes that for a strike.
And she helped herself in a big way in the top of the 5th inning with a 3-run home run,
Yeah, a big 3-run home run.
which gave Cypress the lead that you have now at 8-6.
Takes that off the plate. Right at the knees and didn't get the call. Oh, that was pretty. That was pretty.
And it's going to make you wonder, that strikeout pitch that Emily Rush got to Marines to end the inning is the same pitch Eastless threw there.
Then she rolls it in, and Rush gets on base with a walk. So you don't get the call, and that happens. Redwood San Mateo, that game is done right now. San Mateo beat Redwoods 11-1 in their game. Cabrillo beat Hartnell after 5 innings, run rule, 9-0. Sequoias takes on Sacramento City and walks away with a victory, 12-4. Ellen Hancock loses to Riverside, 6-2. West Valley took on Porterville. That was 7-3. Butte loses a tough one, 3-2. So Sandoval squares, bunts it. That's foul. Throw. Foul ball.
So the pinch runner is Kaylin Lopez at first base mark, and more speed than Emily Rush, as Adimondo, again, tried to lay that bunt down. You probably see another attempt here as Bedoya up at third.
Dropped the bunt. Perfect. Bedoya's got it. Gloves it. Throws to first in time. Fullerton College won today, playing on a team that we've seen this year on SportsNetUSA.net. They beat Southwestern 9-4.
Sandoval 1 for 2 today, struck out, singled, and walked.
Takes that first one for a strike. Runner in scoring position. Down the left field line, that's going to be foul. Desert's beating Citrus. Oh, now Citrus scored, so that game's 9-9. Some of the games around the CCCAA today. Sandoval waits. High, tight.
And that crucial inning here. This is the last inning, top of the 7th. And Eastless has to make sure she doesn't give up one more run.
Eastless again looks it up and says, excuse me, where are these pitches? Is this the 91 and the 605? I'm a little confused. 710's coming. I know I'm on the right road. Right there, he says, no, you're on the 5. You're okay. For strike 3.
So she wasn't playing around there. I mean, she came on the inside part of the plate, but that was going to be a strike all the way. That says you're going to be better than me on this pitch or you're not.
So Crespo comes up. Struck out, got on an air, walked. That's been her afternoon. Brad Pickler's telling her not to yank her head out of the strike zone. Choke up on the bat.
As a communications major, let's see if she listens.
She did. The umpire didn't. One and one, 2 outs, top of the 7th. 2-run lead for Cypress. Fly ball in the alley. Williams underneath it, comes back and gets a nice play by Williams in left field to Sunfield now here at Nancy Kelly Field.
One left for Cypress.
No runs,
7th.
no hits, 1 left on base. As we head to the bottom of 7, your Cerritos College team is trailing Cypress by 2. It's Cypress 8, Cerritos College 6, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, Gabby Neyland, Ed Ford, Albert Robles, the Dodger man, the Ram man, sitting down all the way to my right. Looking for a little happiness tomorrow. Some of us are looking for a day of taunting on the phone during the big game. We'll see if that happens tomorrow. Sunday afternoon for the big game in Los Angeles. Corey, this has been a fun softball game.
It has.
Yeah.
I mean, it started off 5-0, but no one actually thought that it was going to be a blowout. Because whenever Cypress plays, and Cerritos being hard-nosed, Cypress, they will get those couple runs back. And with both of these teams playing as well as they do, it really has been an entertaining game.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun here today on SportsNetUSA.net. East LA College on SportsNetUSA.net. Cypress men's and women's basketball on SportsNetUSA.net. Cypress softball coming up not far away on SportsNetUSA.net. And more Cerritos College here on SportsNetUSA.net. So sports galore around the corner here on SportsNetUSA.net. As we head to the bottom of the 7th, trailing by 2, Cerritos got to find a little magic. And they hope to find that magic in Alyssa Capps finding a way to get on base. Got on base last time with a fielder's choice. Capps takes that a strike, all 4 foot 11 inches of her. Looking to turn on a ball. Claw her way on any way possible. 0-2 count from the circle. Off speed, fouled away. Good day for softball. So good you normally would say let's play 2, but at this stage we're going to settle for 1. Capps takes that for a ball.
They could play 2.
2 more innings?
They could play another game.
You're just telling me you're getting relieved?
I'll be back by the 5th.
Capps. Down there, and she turns on it, and the little one's over at first base.
So you said something needed to happen, Mark, and that's the 11th hit they've out-hit Cypress today. Both teams with 1 error. In the top of the order, Alyssa Sotelo doubled, walked, grounded out, and singled, scored 1 run.
Six runs, 11 hits. For Cerritos College. 8 runs, 7 hits for Cypress College. 18 hits and 14 runs, an enjoyable softball game. Sotelo fouls it away. Hey, Corey, do you?
It's either mine or Ed's.
Car. This is not his. Oh, it didn't hit a car.
All right, top of the shed then.
Off the fist, out of play. And give it to Sotelo, Corey. She was fooled on that pitch when it was coming at her. Double clutched and still got her bat on it. Sandoval, Armando, Huerta, Schaefer in the infield. Schaefer playing on the right field skin. It's a ball. Schaefer deep over at first. Huerta, about normal. Cameron Armando in a couple steps. Cypress decides to come up with the Neyland. Nobody's biting. Mora has done a really good job behind the plate today. Right there, trying to turn two. Play over there. Safe at first. So a nice turn taken there by Sandoval. Gets it to Huerta. Can't get the double play, so that's going to be a fielder's choice.
So Brooklyn Bedoya.
Number 3, Brooklyn Bedoya.
And Bedoya is the type of hitter, Corey, that can drive the softball.
She's 0 for 3 today. Batting .318 this season.
Takes a slow little curveball.
Bedoya has 4 doubles this year.
One-0 pitch. Off the plate, 2-0. And this where as a defender, you got to keep your mind in the game right now. Can't let it wander.
You know, because you have to work for your pitcher here.
Low strike call.
I think that's the first low strike we've seen all game.
And that's a strike that wasn't given to both teams. So drop taken there right at second base as Alyssa just slides on over, calls everybody off, and now there's 2 down.
All down to Vicky Nahira. Hit by a pitch in the first, stole a base, flew out to the right field, walked, and scored a run in the fourth, and flew out to center in the fifth.
Slow, slower, slowest, and almost getting there. Taken for a ball. 1-0. High and away. And right now, if for Cerritos College, if you're a Falcon fan, you're just looking for that little miracle shot that crawls over the fence to tie this game. Strike. Corey, you don't care how that happens. I mean, an outfielder goes back and knocks it up with their glove and it goes over the fence. You'll take it.
No, as long as it gives you another inning and another at-bat, you're all for anything.
Fouled away. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, down by 2. Fly ball, left field, in the sun, taken right there by Jordan Thompson. And that's going to bring this game to an end. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. At the end of 7, the final is Cypress 8, Cerritos College 6, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, before we go away,
I'm just glad it's softball season.
I'm here to stay. Ed Ford, next time we need those headsets brought out so we can talk all of softball around California. And that'll be our next game on Sportsnet, USA.net. But this game today comes to an end as Cypress walks away with the victory, 8-6 to Cerritos, here on Sportsnet, USA.net.